I want to talk a little bit about superannuation because this is the big topic that we'll have to face over the next few years. Costs growing by $1 billion a year. So I want to clarify first what Labor actually stand for on superannuation. What's happening? Because you seem to be changing every second year on whether you support means testing or not.
No, I tell you what the problem is.
What is the problem?
Is the cuts to KiwiSaver. I mean, when Michael Cullen set it up in 2006, it was a great scheme. It's had 8 different whittling ways of what it stands for. The last being that kickstart of $1,000. That's gone. So they're basically robbing our kids' future to scrape by for today.
But what about the superannuation? 67? Raise it to 67?
No, 65.
No, 67, why not?
65.
70, as my taxi driver said, 70 is the new 65.
Good on the taxi driver. Yeah.
All right, what do you think, Todd Barclay? What do you think of this?
Well, we think it should remain at 65 because it's affordable at that rate. We believe in universal superannuation, and I think most New Zealanders actually want consistency in what.
Do you think so? What about, is it actually fair that millionaires, multimillionaires like Sir Bob Jones are getting superannuation when they don't need it?
Well, I think the point is that this, at its current point, it's affordable where it is, and all New Zealanders work hard up until the point where they're 65. So I think all New Zealanders.
There's a lot of debate about that. There's a lot of debate about whether it's affordable, though, isn't there, Todd?
It is affordable.
Do you think, Russell? Do you think it's affordable?
Well, look. So the Treasury did some analysis of this big impending cost, right? They said it was going to cost around up to $5 billion a year on top of current existing spending. And the thing they were actually talking about was greenhouse emissions. Treasury said that it would cost up to $52 billion over 10 years because of climate if we didn't reduce our greenhouse emissions. So, yes, it is an issue. New Zealand Super and the affordability of it is a genuine issue. We should talk about it. But actually, a much bigger thing coming our way, which will be much more expensive, is actually greenhouse emissions.
I understand that, but I want to get back to the superannuation. What would the Green Party like to do? Would you like to raise it to 67?
Our policy is the status quo, but let's have a conversation about the affordability, because if we don't cut our greenhouse emissions, we're going to get $50 billion.
Let's forget about the greenhouse emissions for a bit.
Isn't it about
let's
money?
Forget about the greenhouse emissions.
Isn't it about money, Wallace?
Yes, it's about
Isn't
money.
it about affordability? So this other thing's much more expensive than superannuation.
Let's just limit the framework of the discussion first to superannuation.
What about money?
Or what about means testing?
What about the money that's involved in climate change? I'm sorry, but it's a much bigger fiscal problem than the superannuation. It is like 5 times bigger.
Yes, but we're talking about superannuation.
Sure,
we're not
I'm happy to talk about superannuation.
Wow. Okay, Tracy Martin, what do you think? We know what you think.
All right, well, let me give you some figures. So at the moment, superannuation is 4.1% of net GDP. That's half of what many other nations are. We can maintain it, but we can't maintain it with 70,000 people who've been here from the age of 55 that then sign on and get full super. So we need to change some of the other rules that we have around superannuation. The Cullen Fund was there to smooth out the peaks. We're going to get to a peak and then we're going to start to drop off. So the reality is there's no need to shift it from 65. No need at all.
All right, okay. Todd, what do you expect when you're 65? Would you be expecting to receive superannuation?
Well, if these guys get in, we probably won't have superannuation anymore. But I would expect yes, because I think most New Zealanders work hard for about 40 years of their life, and everybody's entitled to a retirement.
Okay, all right, we'll come back to you guys. Let's go to the audience with Damien Christie.
Yeah, I thought I'd have a little wander around. Let's have a look. Some people that are sort of, there we go, some approaching superannuation. Hello, how are you? How old are you, sir, roughly?
30.
30? Okay, roughly. Good, so you're halfway there. Do you expect that superannuation is going to be around when you're 65?
Yeah, I hope so.
Do you have a plan B?
Yeah, KiwiSaver.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Has anyone, who's got hands up who got KiwiSaver? Let's go to some youngies up here. Here we go. Right. Hello, you're sort of youngie. Have you got, do you think there's going to be superannuation by the time you get to 65?
Oh, I'd hope so.
Yeah? Have you got a plan B?
No.
KiwiSaver?
Wouldn't know what it is, honestly.
Are you from New Zealand?
Uh-huh.
Okay, sweet, cool. No, you should be fine. You should be
This is with my money.
No, that's good. What do we do about people, back to the panel, Wallace, who are useless with their money and don't know what KiwiSaver is?
What about you? The KiwiSaver thing, I mean, that's a big thing, isn't it, Todd? The fact of the matter is that you've kicked the letter away of those people who want to get incentivised of getting on to the KiwiSaver ladder. $1,000 from the government. It's not fair.
Well, we think the incentive's already there. When Michael Cullen introduced KiwiSaver, By this year, they predicted 700,000 members.
Have you got
We've
KiwiSaver?
2.5.
Have you got KiwiSaver?
Yes, I've got KiwiSaver.
And you got the $1,000 kickstart?
I did,
so
but,
you got it.
but the incentive to save was always there. You save for your retirement. That's
No.
instilled into most New
No.
Zealanders. I think.
The incentive was the $1,000 from the government and also the employee contributions. That's why people got into KiwiSaver.
And the employer contributions will still be there. The $1,000 kickstart shouldn't be enough of incentive to start joining KiwiSaver now. What we think in this budget that was delivered last week was that those who most need that $1,000 need it now. They don't need it when they're 65.
Russell?
They need it now.
Well, I mean, you can't avoid the fact that taking away the $1,000 reduces the incentive. I mean, it's just obvious.
Yeah. So can I please? So you take away $1,000 now. Instead of deciding to market, if New Zealanders have stopped it, instead of deciding to market to grandparents and parents to sign their kids in at one, and get that $1,000 and extrapolate it out when at 10% return to $147,000. So by the time they retire, they've actually got some money. Instead of doing that and cancelling the $516 per year, that top up that the government does, they decided to take away the $1,000 at the front end. It's not smart business. It is not smart math. It is something that they haven't thought through. So I'm sorry, but we totally disagree with Tom.
My question is, why did they not give any warning that this was going to happen? And it's because people would have used, there was an incentive to get into it. So if they'd said, let's do it in 3 months' time, you'd have had a whole heap of people jumping on board for the incentive.
But employee contributions, that's as much of an incentive as anything else, isn't it? The fact of the matter is that most people are in it now. Are you in it?
Yeah, absolutely I am. But the employee contributions have been whittled away as well. You know, there's been eight instances where it's been whittled down. It's only a skeleton of what it was when it was set up in 2006. And, you know, that's the real issue here for saving for our retirement.
All right. Were your kids in KiwiSaver?
No, they aren't, actually. We're kicking ourselves.
Yeah, because mine are. Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
why
Well, because mine are, because it was a good idea. It was a good idea to sign in, get the $1,000 kickstart. Their grandparents, if they want to give them anything, you know, like extra for Christmas or birthdays, put some money into KiwiSaver. That's the sort of marketing that should have gone on, not cut it.
All right. I can't get past the fact, though, Tracy, that Winston Peters, here he is, he's a paid MP. He doesn't need superannuation. We could save so much money, surely, if it was just targeted a little bit better. That money could be...
No, and that's a con. They con you there, Wallace. Basically, what they're saying is that there should be, and the Children's Commission has come out recently and said we should do away with universal benefits, and we should mean test everything. Look, who knows what Winston Peters does with his super? I don't know, but he might donate it all to charity. I don't know.
Do you think so?
But, well, I don't know. But let's just talk about that. He's worked, the contractors, the social contractors, you are a good citizen, you pay your taxes for 40 years, and you will get it. It is not a benefit, it is an entitlement, and therefore, it's the contract that we have. It's a massive change for our country to take that away.
Okay, do you want a quick comment around the panel on universal benefits, Russell?
Sorry, Wallace, what's your question again?
You were
I
smart.
was listening to this. I was just listening to this. I was thinking, what does Winston do with all that super money? It kind of got me thinking, you know.
Well,
You know he's just over there, right?
Well, go to him.
We went to him. I mean,
he's there.
Ask him what he does with it.
Winston's our unofficial fifth panelist. You know, we could. We'll leave him. Are you all right, Winston? You're all good. Okay, we'll leave him.
Well, what do you think Winston does with his money?
Oh, look, it's his business what he does with his money, and if you have worked for a number of years, you're entitled
Fair
to do with
enough.
it what
Finally,
you want.
Todd, what do you think Winston does with his money?
I would actually have no idea. But again, he's entitled to that money. He's worked for a long period of his life.